Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you can know when I'm uploading to the channel. All right, you guys, so today I am here to give you your ancestor message. And your ancestor message, you guys. Your ancestors are saying, what is your current reality? What is your current reality? And they want to know your current reality because they're showing me that it's like things that have been released or are being released. Things that have been released or are being released. And in these things that are being released or have been released, there should have been a lot of soul growth. Like, you should have noticed soul growth on your part. You should have been able to, at that point, recognize like your higher self. You should have been able to identify the higher self as it entered in, one of your higher selves, so to speak. But your ancestors are wanting you to look at your current reality. And what is your current reality saying about you? What does how you interact with people say about you? What does how you have compassion and empathy for people say about you? What does how you view people say about you? See, oftentimes on these social medias and these these free apps, we project well, not we, but there's a projection of the illusion there's a projection of what we would like for people to know about us, or what you would like people to know about you, or what you would like for people to perceive about you. But your ancestors are saying, like, what is your current state? What is your current reality? What is the real that lives within you? What is your reality? There are different forms of things that could bring a being to a certain space within this reality. It could be vibing high at 1 minute, and then something come in and trigger the being, and then the being is now vibing on a low vibration. And because of this person no longer matches the illusion that it projected on the free apps and into the universe. And because of these illusions and delusions, some of your lives are filled with chaos. And for those of you that are able to recognize the illusion and the delusion, your life has now went from chaotic to a bit of peace and contentment. So what is your reality? And your reality is more than the quotes that you post on social media. Your reality is more than how you treat somebody that is unfamiliar with you. Your reality is more than anything that you could think of, so to speak. But your reality is how you treat people when no one's looking, or when you're in the confines of your own personal space, or you're in the supermarket, or you're driving your car. The illusions are now off because you're so comfortable in the space that you are in, and in your comfort, you forget to put your mask on. So your false sense of priest or priestesshood is now revealed, and that is your reality. Now, I'm not saying not to have a natural emotion to certain things, but what is your natural emotion? Because is your natural emotion rage when you're just supposed to be upset? Is your natural emotion entitlement when there shouldn't be? Is your natural emotion peace, compassion, tact, humility? Are you judgmental? Are you the crucifier? Are you the end-all be-all? Are you the one that determines a person's fate? Are you the one that determines the outcome? Do you feel like that everything is about you? Because if you feel like everything is about you, if you project a sense of entitlement, if you can't have compassion for people, if you are, calling people every name out of the book because something didn't go your way, then what is your reality? What is real about you? What is that reaction saying about you? And so sometimes we get a little tempered. Sometimes there's when things get a little extreme and people and energies are provocative, you have to sometimes, put your foot down a little bit. But when there is grace being rendered, and there's mercy being rendered, or there's a service being provided, or, somebody trying their best to accommodate you in a profession that you may feel is beneath you, or, somebody's doing something for you, and you don't feel that you need to express gratitude, you feel that you need to express entitlement, then what does that say about your reality? On this journey, it's all about the knowing of self. Not the knowing of others, not the knowing of the thing that happened last week, not the knowing of the book you read, the knowing of the new shoes that you want, the knowing of whatever it is, whatever that material, physical illusion is, whatever that thing that you think is going to give you peace, and then when you get this thing, there is no peace to be had because it wasn't the thing, it wasn't the reality. It was something that was you thought was going to give you what you desired, but the real desire is within. And so when the reality does not align with harmony and grace and compassion and love and peace and this and that and all of these blissful things, then what does that say about you? So your ancestors want you to look at yourself for a moment, because you real good at alluding to what people have done to you. You real good at alluding to how someone did this thing to you. You are very good at telling your side of the story. But what is the reality? What is the reality without the illusion, without the filters, without the chrome or the vintage? What is the reality? Because no one wants to reveal their imperfections. And there is no being on this universe that is perfect. So, the ego is entitled. The ego feels that it is above all things that it believes is beneath it. The ego believes that there's a separation with these superficial titles. The ego feels that one is higher than the next. The ego feels that it is superior of all things. But what is the reality? And so, with understanding the reality of this thing, this will now assist you in becoming spiritually mature. Because you got to grow up spiritually. You got to grow up spiritually. You know, although it pains you, you got to grow up spiritually. That's what your ancestors wanted you to do. You got to grow spiritually. You're in the same place because you're not growing spiritually. You're not doing the inner work. Elevation requires inner work. Everything requires inner work. To build a house, not only do you got to build a foundation, not only do you have to put the exterior out in order to make it look like a home. Imagine if they built homes and didn't do nothing to the inside. It'll just be a beautiful home on the outside. But the inside is ugly, dusty, dirty, falling down. And you can't distinguish the bedroom from the living room and the living room from the kitchen if they didn't do the interior. So the elevation requires the inner work. In order to reach spiritual maturity, you have to do the inner work. And with the inner work, there has to be routines. With the inner work, there are things that you need to be more humble about. A true magician never shows the onlookers how to perform its tricks. And when you get to doing that, when you gotta prove things to people, when you have to prove yourself to people, that's the ego. People should be able to look at you. People should be able to look around. People should be able to feel your reality. There are things that your ancestors are wanting you to release. And not just a partial release. It is time for things to die. It is time for new birthing experiences to emerge. It is time for you now to do your inner workings. Do your inner work so that the inside can be just as beautiful as the outside. You want to be the one that buyers are getting into bidding wars about. Yes? So your ancestors are like, what is your reality? Your reality is what you have materialized. Your reality is what you have manifested. And without the inner working, you will not be able to reach new heights. You will not be able to reach new heights without the inner working. Your ancestors and your guides are saying that there are messages that you are listening to, seeing, experiencing, lessons that you're seeing, hearing, experiencing, and you gotta look at that deeper meaning. You have to become attuned to the deeper meaning. You have to align with the frequency in those exchanges in order to determine what is present. I hope y'all hear. I hope y'all understand. I hope this message is being communicated correctly. It's not about titles. It's not about the borrowed power that you think you have. Because it's borrowed. As easy as it was given, as easy as it could be taken away. It was given to you as a gift, but just because you have a gift does not mean that you're spiritually mature. Just because people have kids don't mean that they are mature parents. They're just parents. something that they have to constantly work on and learn. None of us are great parents, but we'll get better by the day for those that are parents. None of us are great spiritualists, but we get better by the day. Because there's still a function that has to be performed here in this dimension. So in this function, you need to remain positive. When things are coming out of your mouth, if they are negative vibration, they are low frequency, you need to until it can shift, until you can transmute it. You can't be entitled to things. You can't be entitled and expect people to just do things for you. Because with entitlement, that means that in some way there was a contribution on your part. So the thing that you are entitled about, how or what did you contribute? How? What did you do to contribute? If the answer to that question is nothing or zero, you need to explore your reality. You need to look deep within yourself. There's always problems around you. You need to explore your reality. Friction, chaos, negativity. You're always finding yourself mad. You know. Explore your reality. There's a time that is approaching that is going to require our spiritual maturity. And those that are ready will succeed. And those that are not will fail. And those that are ready will perish. And those that are ready will not perish. I said will perish, but will not perish. You got to be ready. I'm hoping that this message from the ancestors is communicated clearly, because right now there is a spiritual war that is here. And your spiritual strength and maturity is required in order for you to be successful in the war. And so this is going to require isolation on your part, you know, separating yourself from certain things until you get grounded. Because sometimes it's just too much in the space. And it's complex for you to ground if you're dealing and combating and fighting against multiple different energies. Everything in the space is a different energy than yours. It does not align with your frequency, so it must go. Or you must go. And then you build yourself up and you exercise by doing this inner work. And the more that you do this inner work, the more aware you're going to become, and the more things are going to change for you. This is a guarantee. This is a guarantee. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. I also hope that you guys enjoyed that meditation. If you want the full version of that meditation, you could do that meditation at any time. It does not have to be the 1111 portal. The full version of that meditation is on Patreon. Also, if you guys are interested in participating in our support group, which is called our Chit Chats, and also our anonymous corners, where we talk about all things spiritual. We're right now in the midst of reading a book on love and mastering love, which will be happening this week. All of that information in the description below. You can find us on Patreon, and I will talk to y'all later.